What's up everyone, I'm Retro, welcome back to the channel, and for today I've got my first place Runick Snake-Eyes list. We took a little bit of inspiration from Josh to make this deck work, so I guess I'll just get right in and show you this list. I played 2 tournaments with this thing. One was locals, really just to test out, see what I liked, and the second was a remote event. Went X1 over the course of the 2 events, only losing one of my remote rounds. Well, yeah, let's get started. Show you guys the list. So first off, we will go through the Snake Eye cards, because Snake Eye cards are essentially what we all know. So got 3 Snake Eye Ash, 1 Oak, 2 Poplar, 2 Flamberge, 1 Snake Eye Diabolstar, 1 Snake Eye Diabolstar, 3 Witch, 3 Bonfire, 3 Wanted, and then 1 of each original and Temple. We still play Temple in this list, even though you have the Runick Fountain. There are lines where you only have access to the Snake Eye cards, so you still need to play everything as though you're doing a linear Snake Eyes combo, and then the Runick cards just make this better. Or in case if you have both, or access to both, you can use the Runick Fountain to just draw all your cards back, and then you can finish with this to actually make yourself the Godboard combo. I'll show what the Godboard combo looks at the end. So pack up those ones. So it's pretty standard Snake Eye stuff. There's not too much to say there. And then for the fun part of the deck, the Runick engine. We've got 2 Runick Fountains, max we can play. 3 Runick Tips, max really there. 3 Slumber, 3 Freezing Curses, 3 Flashing Fire, 3 Runick Destructions, and then I also played 1 Dispelling and 1 copy of Smiting Storm. Now you don't have, I think you have to play this number as a minimum. It's the most Runick cards you can play that all do something. There is another option. For the 40th card, you could play a Golden Droplets to increase that amount of Runick cards you have. But this is what I liked as a bare minimum. Sometimes you want more, so sometimes you don't. Yeah, I just like having the ability, because these cards force your opponent to have to play through hand traps as well. It just makes it so much easier to play through hand traps when you have access to it. And then for the final card, I had 1 spot left in the deck. I wasn't really too sure what to play. I could have played Golden Droplets. I opted to play Jet Synchron, and the reason for this was it gives you access to the Synchro lines. And in the Runick deck, it's so much easier to set up Omni Negates like Herald of the Arclight, and make Cheng Ying, which can also be another form of disruption with your Runick cards. It was never really bad to draw, because again, you can always use it as a discard off Hugin and then bring it back. So I liked it. 40 cards straight. Not much to say. For the extra deck, played 2 copies of Hugin. I did actually want it to be 3 a few times. Some of the grind games, I did actually miss the 3rd. 1 Gary, never missed the 2nd Gary, and then 1 Sleipnir. Sleipnir is actually really fun, because it just creates another point of disruption. 1 Formula, 1 Arclight, and 1 Cheng Ying for the Synchros. Formula, I think, in this deck is even more important, because sometimes when you only open the 1 Runick card, you want to go to Formula to get that extra draw to help you find the Runick cards. And that actually came up a few times where I had 1 Runick card, I was able to get to the Formula Synchron line, and then Formula gave me that extra draw, and I drew into another Runick card. Arclight also being just a great Omni Negate, and then Cheng Ying. Cheng Ying makes all your Runick cards additional negates. And then we also played the Harbinger as well. There is a line where you can actually go for the full Synchro setup with Harbinger. So I'll show you guys what that looks like at the end. For Link 2s, we got 1 SP Little Knight, 1 IP Masquerena, 1 Dark Charmer, 1 Heater. This is all I needed for Link 2s. I didn't play any Link 1s, and that's because the Runick monsters are essentially your ways to extend as Link 1s. So you never really needed like Anima, Link Spider, or any of those sorts. These cards all do it for you. For Link 3s, I played 1 Promethean Princess. Shouldn't be very... Secret, and 1 Celine. I wasn't going to play Celine, but what happened is I realized that it comes up where you only have access to your Snake-Eyes options, and you don't have the full Runick cards, that you actually need Celine as part of your combo. So I put it back in, and it definitely came up a few times. Only played Apo as my Link 4 of choice. Access code, you have all the spot removal with the Runick cards, and Zelantis Raging Phoenix, you don't generally OTK in battle phase because you don't get a battle phase with the Runick cards. So yeah, that's all I needed. I never missed it. For the side deck, played 3 copies of Dogwood. This is the only hand trap I played in the whole list. And the reason is, when you're playing Runick matchups, if you ever get to game 3, you never really kill your opponent, so you need this to make sure you can actually gain life and you will win the game on higher life. Even sometimes in game 2, I side this in because I know that I'm not going to be able to finish the matchup. Because your games generally take a long time. So it's nice just to get that life extra to make sure you can't die as well. We also played 3 copies of Talents. Talents was amazing. It's like one of the best cards you can side in going first or second. And again, this deck really forces your opponent to have to use hand traps. Next we have 3 copies of Forbidden Droplets. Again, we're not playing hand traps, and a lot of your cards are chainable. So when you consider a lot of your cards are chainable, you can just go activate, 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 and then chain droplets, send them all for free and still get the effects off. That actually happened a few times. I just think this is one of the best cards going second for this deck. Then I realized my side deck had nothing against like something like Branded when I went first. So I put in 3 dimensional barriers. Again, this deck draws a lot of cards, so you will more than likely find one of these. And this was like all I could think of that would just beat Branded. So I put it in and never played against Branded, but it was, in theory, it worked. I also played against a Tempai player where I side decked this in and it's called Synchro. They couldn't do anything. Like, this was just the icing. And then, might sound weird, but we played 3 evenly matched. I know it's weird that you don't get a battle phase, but it's more or less go second, clear my opponent's board, and then simplify the game state where all of your cards do much more than what your opponents do. So that's it for the deck list, everyone. I really enjoyed playing it. There were a couple times where it's like you've used up all your Snake-Eyes cards and you have to just deck your opponent out with the Runick cards. That gameplay kind of sucked, but other than that, the deck is real fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm sure there's ways to improve it. Let me know down in the comment section below what you would change or if any questions you have about the deck list. I'm Retro Yugioh, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.